Okay, so welcome everyone on today's Metal3 Community meeting. Don't forget that the meeting is recorded, so keep that in mind. And today's 2022, January 26th, Wednesday. And my name is Adam Rosman, and I will be your host today. And let's start as usual with the introductions. Is there anybody who is new to the meeting and would like to do some quick introduction? If not, then we can continue. By the way, do you hear me right? Is it okay, the sound quality?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So the first two or the first agenda point is questions related to the owner's file. That's from me. First of all, I have two of these. One for the metal3io.github.io that removes Mal as a reviewer, as an active reviewer, and moves him to the emeritus reviewers. You probably have seen me doing small changes related to these owners files everywhere in every MetaCube repository. And the other one is the MetaCube for the MetaCube docs. That's the same. I've seen Dimitri, you have approved at least two of these. Thanks. I noticed that for this, I think we have a broken test trigger, so it says that test integration is expected, but it's actually broken. So if you have time and have approval rights and LGTM rights, please check those that have not been checked so far. I will continue with this because I noticed that we have Jan who left the EST team as a reviewer in at least two repos. And I wanted to ask any of you if you know that Russell should be part of any owner's files. I think he left the project, but I have still found him in some of the repos as either reviewer or approver, mostly in documentation related things.
Yeah, so Russell's still at Red Hat, obviously, but he's not really involved with Metal3 anymore. So I think as long as we have as long as we're not running out of approvers, like we have someone in there to replace him, then I think we could probably take him out. There's a lot of repos, and he probably just missed removing himself.
Okay, then I think I will include him also in this reviewer process. I'm doing this exactly for the reason to see that how much active reviewers and approvers we have, because we can get into a situation that we think we have 4 and in fact we have 1. So I want to avoid that if possible. But thank you. The next one is also from me. We discussed it today with Furkat and Kashif that we would like to drop the CAPM 3 V1 Alpha 4 support that is linked to the V1 Alpha 3 of CAPI. And that's because the CAPI project will soon drop the V1 Alpha 3. I linked the reference for the supported releases and the life cycles. And I'd like to ask everybody that please voice your opinions on this, and if you have any objections, that why we should wait or how long should we wait, or if there's any objection at all.
No objection from me.
Yeah, obviously we won't, I guess as a community won't do it from one day to the other, and I assume that, or I think that we won't do it at least until CAPI is not, CAPI has not phased out the V1 Alpha 3, but and even after that, probably some short amount of time will pass. And if you know anybody in your teams, colleagues, or external contributors who might participate in a project that requires us to support an older version, it would be good to know. So if you see this or know somebody, then please get back to me on this, or send a person to me or to Furkat, and we would like to know about this, because if not, then we would, I think, go forward with that.
Yeah, hi. On top of that, we'll definitely create the issue in CapM3 repo and give a notice on the bare metal Slack channel and also on the mailing list beforehand.
Yeah, it won't just like disappear or something. Yeah, thank you, Furkat.
Thanks.
Okay, okay. I think that was from me. If there are no objections or anything, then we can continue with Chai's agenda points, discussion regarding the failure domains. I think this is the one, right? 236. No, it's 403. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi. So we actually have infrastructure running on VMs and bare metal service at the moment, and we use both the CAP-V and the CAP-M3 controllers at the moment. Um, and like Arvinda already mentioned in this issue here regarding having the feature of failure domains for CAP-M3 as well. This is something which is missing for us. So I was wondering if we could have a discussion regarding this, and also try to understand the timeline for the implementation, because I guess Arvinder is at the moment waiting for feedback from the community. So if we could have some discussion regarding this and have a consensus, then I guess I or Arvinder can work on implementing this for CAPM3.
I was tagged and involved in this issue. This looks great. We definitely would like to have this in the CapM3, plus one from my side at least. And I was going through the issue linked here in CAPE upstream. So the same discussion is ongoing on that side, right? And there
Yeah,
are some improvements needed. And yeah, and today I think got a reply that CAP-V is already supporting this. And yeah, regarding the timeline, I think we can, if community agrees, we can already like start implementing this, at least plus one from my side, as I said, but I'd like to hear others' opinion as well.
So just to clarify, the failure domain is a concept that already exists in the cluster API. Is that right?
yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know a lot about the latest cluster API because we're still using the old version, but reading through this, my first thought was that the right way to implement this was using labels, and I see that's what you're proposing. So that seems very sensible to me.
Yeah, and it's something that's already being supported by other providers as well. So that's why I was wondering, hey, why not? Why don't we add this for CAPIP3 as well? So
yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Great. Then I guess I will talk to Arvinder and see how we can implement this.
Just a quick question. So you or Arvind, with him, you would like to implement this. So it's not just a proposal for us, but you would go forward with this and implement this. I'm just asking because of the triaging that would happen next week. Because if you will go forward with this, then I can just.
I'm sorry, I lost you in the middle. Like I had problems with my internet.
Yeah. So do you need help with this? That's basically the question.
No, actually, I wanted to talk to Arvinder first regarding this and just agree with him whether he wants to implement this or based on his availability. So if he doesn't have time for this, then I can work on it.
Okay. Okay. That's awesome. That's always good to get new features, especially if it's also in Capi already and in other providers. Yeah, so +1 from me too.
Great, thank you.
If of course at the end of the meeting, if somebody has something in your mind, you can always like chime in and say that to any of the topics, but then I guess we can continue. And I think the last one is from Michael.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a review for this pull request. I made a start on the book that I think was proposed not so long ago. I plan to write more documentation in this area, but this was just to start at the introduction. Dimitri left a review. I've responded to that comment. So anyone who can or would like to and can approve this, we can always follow up on it later. But also, if you have suggestions, I'll take them on board. I can revise it. So I'm just asking for a review on this PR. That's all.
Okay, great. And by the way, just as a connection, as a reminder, I've seen that more and more people taking up the documentation issues. So anybody, please feel free to do so. There are a lot of them, and I think in the future there will be even more topics. It's a big task. And thank you, Michael, for starting. I think you were the first who pushed the PR related to this book. Okay, if there's nothing else, I think there's nothing else on the agenda. Is something that you would like to share? Anybody that's not on the agenda? News related to the project or some other topic that you would like to bring up? Is there something that you would like to change related to the meeting, like some improvements, problems?
One thing, I guess the time for the meeting is wrong in the Metal3 docs repo. I guess it still says 13 o'clock instead of 14 o'clock. So that's probably something we can just change. So it's a bit misleading.
1 second, let me note it, and I will check it tomorrow. So in the Capentry or in
in the CAPM, in the Metal3 docs repo, I guess.
Okay, I will check that and I will push a fix. Thank you. Any other issue, problem, improvement? Because if not, then I'd like to thank you for your attendance and I will see you next week. Next week we will have triaging. So if you are interested in that, please come, and have a nice rest of the day, everybody. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thanks very much.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.